Alright, here we go with another how-to video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use the BERKLEY Portable Line Spooling Station. I'm going to be spooling up this new Pen Pursuit 4 with some 30-pound braid. So without further ado, let's get this thing going. So this is a brand new reel, haven't done anything with it. I'm going to take it out of the box here. Alright. So again, Pen Pursuit 4, and if you weren't aware, the Pen brand and BERKLEY brand are both part of the Pure Fishing umbrella of products. So you got BERKLEY, Pen, Plano, Pfluger, a couple other brands. But go ahead and tighten this handle down. Alright, I'm all ready to go there. Also, this should be in every spinning reel package, but at least for the Pen ones that I'm familiar with, they have this little display here, this display card with 2 extra washers. What it's for is when you're spooling the line, or putting line on the spool, if your line ends up too far up front, you can add one of these washers to make it even. If it's spooling too far back, you're going to take the washer that comes stock on this out, and you're going to add one of these washers, and you're going to spool it, and then as you spool line onto it, you're going to see and just track to make sure it's even. So in my experience with these Pursuit ones, these Pursuit reels, the stock one seems to be a little thick, so it starts to back, or more line gets on the back than on the front. But that also has to do with if the drag's too tight or whatever, that little amount of movement has a big difference. But we'll get some line on here first, and then we'll see if we need to change out the washers here. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tie my braid onto the spool. Now, definitely, if you're going to leave the spool on, make sure you open the bail. I tend to leave my spool on. I don't generally take it off. And so just make sure that you open the bail first before you put the line on. Now again, this is 30-pound braid, and what I'm going to do, I don't recall the knot, but I'm going to take and make a big loop. So you see that loop here? Okay, doesn't have to be huge, just big enough to obviously loop around the spool a few times, or a couple. I'm going to take my tag end, I'm going to make another loop. So now I have a big loop and a small loop, right? Okay, now I'm going to take this tag end again, and I'm going to go around both loops 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull this tight. Just pull the tag in, and you'll see that tighten up there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this tag line right about, leave about a 1/4 inch or so. Don't need it anymore after that. Alright, now again, bail open. I'm going to take this line, take that loop, and where this knot is, I'm going to put that on the bail. Just put my finger or my thumb over it, and you see I have a line there and line there. I'm going to go ahead and take this line, and I'm going to wrap it once over. I'm going to take this and wrap it once over, and that'll loop it. You can do it 2-3 times, you can do it however many times you want. I just generally do it once or twice. That was actually a smaller loop than I normally do, so it only went around once, but so be it, it'll be fine. And then I'm just going to pull on this line until it's tightened up. Boom, there you go. Tightened up, that ain't going anywhere. That's secure. Close the bail. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip this seat over, and I'm going to put it right into this slot right here. There's a little opening. I'm going to slide that in there. Move the camera over here. And then you have this knob. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that so it goes over the seat here. That's all you need. Boom. Okay. Now for the spool itself. we're gonna go ahead and take this piece out. Now this has two parts to it, so you have basically your two spring-loaded plastic pieces that are gonna go on each side of the spool. So I'm gonna take this first one off. Then you take this L here, or this 90°, and we're gonna stick it right in the hole right there. Push all the way down, and you'll feel it kind of click or just get snug. Okay, we'll keep this up here. Now you also see a triangle right there. That's where you want the center of your spool, is on the center of this triangle. But keep in mind that when you put the spool on, this is going to act as a spring, but you do want the spool to have some tension, some tightness, so that way you're not spooling or retrieving on a loose spool. And slide this on there like that. And for the first one, I want this spool to be slightly to the left of that triangle, because when I tighten these together, it'll tighten into the center of this triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and put it probably about right, tighten it right here. And you can see this spring. Yeah, it springs. Okay, I'm going to take this other one, get that secured on here, push this in. Okay, make sure that this is in the hole, make sure that's in tight. And then again, I'm going to tighten this up to where it's now, the line is now centered in this triangle here. Okay, we're all set. Let's get to spooling here. All right, camera's good. Okay, then just retrieve. So what I'm going to do on here is I'm not going to go all the way down on my drag. I'm just going to make it to where it's semi-tight. Too tight. A little too tight still. Oh, come on. I'm going to get some line on here. Okay, so I'm going to get probably about a good 15-20 yards. Okay, that's good. Then you always want to check it. Check that spool, make sure that line's running even, to where it's even on top, even on bottom. There's not too much line going on top, not too much line going on bottom. So that looks pretty even right now. Okay, just keep putting reel some more in. Let a little more line get on the reel, and then we'll be able to look and tell if we're going to need to have either change out washers or leave as is. So we'll get a little more on here. I'm actually not liking the amount of tension on here, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up just a little bit. There. A little more tension on that spool. Okay, let's take a look here. It looks to be pretty even. See how it's not bunching up to the top, it's not bunching at the bottom, it's pretty straight. So I'll keep this going and I'll check it periodically here. Just kind of moving a little bit so you can see a different angle of it. And one thing to note, when I'm spooling these reels, I like to go out to about where the black is, just before that the top of the spool starts to round or curve out. You can see the lines in there. You can those are spool markers too. So generally right out to that last spool marker here is where I want to go. Angle it over here a little bit so the camera can see it better. Getting there. That's probably good. Okay, so you can see right there that it's right up against that last spool marker. The black's disappeared up here, so it's about where I want it. Okay, so that's all set. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cut this line. There's actually a little line cutter right here on it, so you can do that, but since I have the cutters, just go ahead and cut that right there. Okay, go ahead and remove this reel from this from the portable line spooling station. Set that aside because I wanted to show you something on the bottom here. Go ahead and remove the spool. Remove this from this. All right. It comes with rubber feet, but it also has kind of an instruction guide on the bottom. So there's that line cutting tool. It's again over here. But yeah, step-by-step instructions how to use it. It shows you the arbor knot here. That's not what I use, but if first time doing it, get comfortable with it, whatever knot you're comfortable with. But yeah, that is the BERKLEY portable line spooling station. I will have this on my on our storefront on the website. So at startfishingtoday.com/storefront. I'll have the link to that in the description. That's where I'll have all the products I use and recommend on the channel. But thanks for watching. Again, that's how you use the BERKLEY portable line spooling station to spool either a spinning reel or conventional. But yeah, hope this video was helpful. Hope you learned something. Take care. You get some.